almost seems like it's a rite of passage. If you're an endurance athlete, you have to starve yourself. You have to basically suffer an eating disorder. That's the reality is we are in sports where weight does matter. But guys, this is the thing. It's so easy to become so obsessed with that. Let it completely take over your entire life, your entire thoughts. Man, I've been there, guys. I literally would judge the possible outcome of my race that I was going to do on the scale number that I had that morning. If you're starving yourself, you're miserable. You're hating your life. I've been there. Trust me. I've hated my life before because I've been so freaking hungry. And guys, every single pro rider, I promise you, they will tell you their story of how they've tried once to push their weight to a new level. And guess what? It did not work well for them. Nobody has ever said, oh yeah, I was riding the best when I was at my absolute skeletal face chiseled weight, guys. No. Don't starve yourself. Prioritize the strength. Prioritize getting as many watts out of your legs as possible. And then down the road, if you get to a point where you're saying, ooh, okay, I've trained really well. I'm a bit older. I'm not seeing quite as much progress with my power anymore. That's when you move on to the next phase, which is making these small tweaks on your diet. But as a 17, 18-year-old, 16-year-old person, don't even dare. Throw that scale in the freaking trash, yo. Try and get your power up higher. The scale is not important. This is another point that a lot of people don't know, guys. If you're a young junior and you're trying to make it as a pro cyclist and you're thinking, oh yeah, I gotta be as skinny as possible because these world tour teams are gonna clearly fixate on someone who's really skinny, that is wrong. These world tour bosses and world tour performance managers, they know how to scout talent, and they would million times, they're gonna fixate on a young rider who has an insane motor. He or she is cranking wild power, but they look at their body and they say, ooh, this guy might even be a little chubby for a cyclist. I'm not saying that he's fat. That means he's probably still a freaking skeleton, but they look for people that they say, ooh, this guy with all of our resources, all of our nutrition resources, all of our guidance and our professionalism within this team, this guy might be able to thin down his body a bit more than he is right now. And then we combine his freak engine that he has with that lower weight that we're going to help him achieve slowly with guidance without doing any extreme crazy stuff. And boom, then you've got a Pogacar. Like, guys, I will never forget. I raced against Pogacar in the Tour of California in 2019, his very first season. And I remember clearly looking at this dude and saying, that guy looks like a chubby little boy. And guess what? He was blowing everyone's doors off. Why? Because he's the biggest freak in nature that the sport has ever seen. He has a motor like nobody else. And yes, over the time, using all the resources that they have in the UAE team, like I say, all those high-end, world-class nutritionists, they lowered it every single year. They got him to his optimal racing weight the correct way, guys. If you really have the goods to be a pro cyclist, guys, you really have that natural genetic motor, someone's going to fix it in you. It's as simple as it works. There's nobody that's out there cranking out world-class power to weight ratios and flying under the radar. It just does not happen in modern day cycling. There's too many ways. It's too easy for people to access data and for these world tour scouts to say, ooh, wow, this guy, I think he has it. And then they sign him for 5 years. So guys, basically, point is, it's definitely, like I say, we're in a sport where weight does matter. And I know, I never forget that first time when I figured out, like, if I were a few pounds lighter, I'd probably go 30 seconds faster on that climb. So it is totally normal to get stuck into this trap. But I'm trying to tell you guys, don't freaking do it. You don't have to obsess about your weight when you're a 17, 18-year-old junior. Don't do it, guys. Throw the goddamn scales away. I can't say it any other way. Don't fixate in that. Train well, recover well, fuel your body as well as you can. Try and get your legs to pump out as many watts as you possibly can. And like I say, if you have that engine, someone is going to figure it out.